Good morning, everybody. Tara Bachland here with the Wifey Wake Up podcast. Breakfast is being prepared as I speak, so please disregard that noise. But that's a great sign. For those of you tuning in on the wifey school side of things, that's my hubby making some coffee and some breakfast. And that's what I hope all couples would have, is that you provide for each other, you are there for each other in so many ways, including making breakfast when the other one is very much occupied. So just a little highlight there. It is actually a very cloudy morning here. The sun is barely peeking through the clouds, but it's going to be sunny. And so that inspired something for today. I actually slept in a bit. It was just so wonderful to listen to the rain fall. And we haven't had rain for a little while. And so it's amazing how just listening to the rain can be cleansing externally as well as internally. Spiritually, I think, as well. Those of you who are seeing this on the Tara Bachland side of things, this is a topic. Thank you very much. This is my very own cafezinho, and we call this my sippy cup. It's really an espresso cup, but I just love drinking out of something like this. Thank you. And those of you seeing this on the Tara Bachland side, I started broadcasting a few of these wifey wake ups to my other channels and have been getting good response. So those topics that are not specifically on marriage or dating, I'm also going to share there. Because why not share the goodness? This one is specifically, every family has issues. And this was something that I realized over a decade ago, but that was after spending the better part of a decade suffering from really the trauma of a family experience, which I won't go into the details of. But it was such a big realization. And so I want to share it with you. I want to share with you because what I realized in hindsight is I was really suffering from shame, and that shame can be a significant dampener on your life. Now, it's going to depend on your personality. Some personalities and guys in particular are kind of just like, I'm not going to deal with that. But women, we're just innately, we are programmed, and I think we're innately wired for keeping family together and connecting. And if there are problems going on, to remedy it, or to caretake and nurture the issue. And if not, guys are programmed to problem solve, right? And I was put in the seat to problem solve, and I cared very much. But the thing is, you can't solve something with people who don't want a solution. And not only don't want a solution, they actually get pleasure, like even have expressed that they get pleasure at tearing things apart and seeing people hurt. I know it's crazy when you're a sane person to hear that there are actually people like that, and even people within your own family who may be like that. I'm cutting to the chase today because I want to keep this short. I was going to say short and sweet. It's not sweet news, but to anyone who is going through this will be super sweet news. So I was, if anyone knows the term, I was the scapegoat. So I was the one that was not to blame, but the blame was placed on me, and I was extricated out of the family. Extricated, I don't know if that's right, but I was banished from outside the family. But at the same time, they're like, "Hey, Tara, come back. We want you around. But here are all the problems. They're your problems. Go away." And it's maddening, right? As you can just imagine. And so another term would be the sacrificial lamb. The blame was placed upon me, and I was sacrificed. And that means, even though they said they wanted me back, the Tara that they didn't want was sacrificed. You can get the visuals there. And they wanted a new Tara back. So I carried tremendous shame during this time. The strange thing is that even when it's not your fault, and sane people are going to ask, well, why, Tara, would you carry shame with you when you weren't the one at fault? And it's a very strange thing in family dynamics. And when there are certain mental emotional conditions going on, there's a really great book that I'll wanting, I think is, I don't remember the name of it, but of the author, but I'll put that in the notes as well. It's really fascinating and helpful to understand the scapegoat dynamic. And so I felt ashamed for what was not my fault and carried that for years. Now I'm going over this quickly, and I mean, like, these are, heightened emotions. This like dampened, this stifled me for at least a decade. And by stifled, I mean like just emotionally trapped. And like they said they wanted me around, but there was no way to get to a healthy relationship. They wanted me in the way that if I would accept chaos and poor treatment. And try not to go into too much detail because there's a whole like series of podcasts in and of itself. But I'm mostly saying this enough to relate to those who are experiencing this. So I'm saying this because I don't want you to spend years or even months carrying a heavy weight that is not yours to carry. I don't want you to spend years or even months wondering who in your family you might be able to connect or continue a relationship with, wondering who else will throw you over the cliff. And I want you to take strides to shed the straitjacket of what you were taught was love and to live your life. And that's really when I say the greater part of a decade, if not more, feeling really trapped. It's like an emotional straitjacket. You don't know. I mean, thankfully, I had my husband and my in-laws family as family to heal and to have a healthy relationship with. But when you feel like you're in an emotional straitjacket, like you can't go here, you can't go there, you can't win in any direction, it's very stifling and very dampening. So if any of these words resonate, this new life that I'm talking about will probably be without the people in your life. It will be really difficult at first, and it will be really strange. Like you'll miss them, but then something crazy will happen, and you're like, okay, that is another good reason to not be around them. Okay, and it's a withdrawal process, but soon or eventually, you'll have enough peace in your life that you won't want to sacrifice that. You won't want to let that go. The peace that you experience is greater than the feeling of desire or burden to make something work with people who won't make it work, or a person. And it may take you longer or shorter. I hope for your case it will take it shorter. And this is why I'm saying this statement. Every family has issues. There might be that miracle family that doesn't, and God bless truly. And I hope we can, they are shedding their blessings on other people. But when I realized that every family has issues to some degree or another, it was such a huge relief from me, because the blame for the family breakup was placed on me. And I realized that I was gradually realizing, first of all, that it wasn't me. I wasn't the problem, because at every turn when I tried to solve things, it was squashed or just not met with any kind of desire for healing. And so I couldn't heal something. I couldn't heal a situation. Like you can't heal a person who doesn't want to heal. You can't heal a drug addict who keeps taking the drugs, right? And that realization that every family has issues to some degree or another helped me to be able to realize, okay, so maybe I know that I'm not the problem here. And there are other people going through this. I, for some strange reason, thought that I was the only one in the world who had ever gone through something like that. And that's why I'm saying this and why I'm doing this, but on both channels, my Tara Bachland channel and on Wifey School, because it affects every area of your life. When you are not feeling whole, and but you're feeling, let's just say, I try to be more specific because anyone can imagine what hurt means. But if you're just, for me, my whole foundation was ripped out from under me when you have a traumatic separation from your family of origin, and that's really all that you know as a human being is what you were raised around. So this is to be hopefully a message to anyone who's experiencing something like that, you're not the only one. That's the main point of this message. You are not the only one. There are other people who have experienced this, and it's to at least provide some relief, in the sense that it's a strange sense of relief. It's like you don't want anyone to have experienced it, but at the same time, it's a relief to know that others have, and that there are solutions. There's help out there. And so, of course, let me know, please, if this resonates with you. Please comment. Let me know, and maybe it's too much to comment, but just say, if you even say more, tell me more. Because definitely at that time in my life that I was going through this, there were books out there, but there were only a handful, and they were very much psychologically oriented. So like psychologists, counselors would read them, which was great, but had a bit different orientation. And I think sometimes hearing someone else's story who's been through it, I know, as I started listening to other people's stories, there's still very few, it was very healing. And that's what I hope it can be for you. So just knowing that you're not the only one. And if you feel like you're being scapegoated, you probably are. And look into that. I think the book is wanting, and it's very interesting. The actual premise of the book doesn't seem like it's about scapegoating, but there's a strong thread about it within it. And I'd like to conclude with some verses from a song. And this is really what I hope that this short podcast can be for you. And actually, as I was reading more of the lyrics, it really has a wonderful message overall. Let's see if I can find those again. So this is from Vivir Mi Vida. It's a song by Mark Anthony, which you may have heard of, even though it's mostly in the Spanish-speaking community. He's a very, very popular singer. I believe at one time he was married to J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez. So here we go. So, a veces llega la lluvia para limpiar las heridas. A veces solo una gota puede vencer la sequía. So that was the first part that I want to share. And this is the second verse opening the song. And so it means sometimes the rain comes to clean our wounds. And sometimes just one drop can overcome the drought. And there's more to the song. Basically, vivir mi vida, meaning, if I can interpret it more, is I'm going to live my life. And the rest of this song describes, I'm going to laugh, I'm going to dance, I'm going to tease or flirt, and why cry? Those things are going to happen. And I know when you're in the thick of it, when it's really, really deep and very difficult, it's like you can't help but crying, and that's very therapeutic as well, right? That's your own lluvia, that's your own shower. Like we had this morning, just a beautiful rain. It was very cleansing. Sometimes you need that rain to clean the wounds. And then there's a certain point where you need to go, I'm going to live my life. And the life is here to laugh, dance, have a wonderful time. And don't let the wounds overtake you. So I hope this was the gota, the drop that may have helped relieve that dry spell or the drought, the sequía, and that you can have a wonderful day knowing that you're not alone. And if you are going through one of these very difficult times, that there are solutions, there's a wonderful help out there as well. So have a wonderful day, everybody. Take care. I'm here every morning around sunrise. And make sure to like, subscribe, and definitely share this. If someone came to mind while you were listening to this that you think this might help, please send it their way. Take care, everybody, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.